Hey guys, tonight on Margaret Radio Health in Later Life, we are going to explore something that touches so many of us, something that lives not just in our joints, but also on our dinner plates. We're talking about osteoarthritis and the surprising, powerful connection it has with the food you eat. Imagine for a moment, your body as a quiet, intricate garden. The paths are your bones, the flowers are your muscles, and the gentle morning dew on the petals is the fluid that keeps everything moving smoothly within your joints. Osteoarthritis, in a way, is like a spell of dry, challenging weather in this garden. Some days are sunny and comfortable, while others feel a bit stiff, a bit creaky, as if the ground is just a little too firm. But what if I told you that the food you choose to bring into your life can act like a gentle, nourishing rain for this garden? What if some foods could help soothe the soil, while others might, ever so slightly, contribute to that feeling of dryness and friction? Tonight, we're not going to talk about strict diets or forbidden foods. Instead, we are going to learn how to become a more intuitive gardener for your own body, how to invite more of that gentle, soothing rain. The world of nutrition can feel so overwhelming, can't it? One day a food is a superfood, and the next it's on some list of things to avoid. It's funny, isn't it? You spend the first half of your life being told to eat your vegetables, and you spend the second half trying to figure out which vegetables are now suddenly on the naughty list for one reason or another. It sometimes feels like you need an advanced degree in botany just to make a simple salad that won't offend your knees. Let's just breathe through that feeling of confusion tonight. This space is about gentle understanding, not about adding more rules to your plate or your life. It's about discovering what makes your body feel heard, understood, and cared for. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And as you settle in, I'd love to know where you're listening from tonight. Go ahead and type your city or country and the local time in the comments below. It's always so comforting to know we're all here, in our own little corners of the world, from bustling cities to quiet countrysides, sharing this quiet moment together. It connects us, knowing we are all seeking a bit of peace and understanding under the same vast sky. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. Let's begin not with a list of foods, but with a feeling. Think about a day when a joint, perhaps a knee or a finger, felt particularly talkative. That low, persistent ache, that stiffness that greets you in the morning, it's a form of communication. Your body is sending you a message. This communication often involves something called inflammation. And while that word can sound intimidating, let's simply think of it as your body's internal alarm system. When a joint is struggling, the system sends out help, creating a response that can lead to swelling, warmth, and that familiar ache. It's a natural, protective process. But when it becomes chronic, it's like an alarm that just won't turn off, creating a constant state of sensitivity. The foods you eat can either help to quiet that alarm, or they can, in some cases, make the ringing just a little bit louder. Our journey tonight is to understand the whispers behind that alarm, and to learn how our choices in the kitchen can bring a sense of calm and quiet to our internal world. So, let's walk back into your body's quiet garden, to the place where your joints are communicating with you. That feeling of stiffness, that gentle ache, it is, as we said, a conversation. It's driven by that process of inflammation, the body's natural but sometimes persistent alarm system. Now, we arrive at the heart of our journey tonight, understanding why. Why can the food on your plate sometimes cause this alarm to ring a little louder, a little more insistently? It's not about blame, or guilt, or restriction. It is simply about understanding the quiet chemistry that unfolds inside you with every meal you enjoy. Think of your body's internal workings as a vast, intricate kitchen. In this kitchen, there are two main teams of chefs, constantly at work. One team specializes in creating messages that say, "Sound the alarm, we need help here." These are the pro-inflammatory messengers. They are essential. If you get a cut or an infection, you want this team to rush to the scene, creating a response to protect and heal you. The other team of chefs specializes in messages that say, "All is calm. Stand down. The situation is resolved." These are the anti-inflammatory messengers. A healthy, peaceful body is one where these two teams are in constant, balanced communication. The first team speaks when needed, and the second team follows, bringing peace and quiet once the danger has passed. The challenge with a chronic condition like osteoarthritis is that, for many complex reasons, the first team, the alarm-sounding team, can become a little overenthusiastic. They start sending out their alert messages even when there isn't an immediate, new threat, creating a low, steady hum of inflammation. This is the hum you feel in your joints. The ingredients you provide to your internal kitchen through your diet can directly influence which team of chefs is better supplied, better equipped, and more active. Some foods provide the exact raw materials that the pro-inflammatory team needs to make their alarms. Other foods provide the perfect ingredients for the anti-inflammatory team to create their messages of calm. So, the question isn't how to shut down the alarm system entirely, you need it, but how to gently support the calming team, to bring a better balance to the kitchen. One of the most significant, yet least discussed, ways that food can contribute to this internal noise is through something called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs for short. Now, that name sounds terribly scientific and complex, but the concept is actually quite familiar to all of us. Have you ever toasted a piece of bread and watched it turn that lovely, crisp golden brown? Or seared a piece of meat in a hot pan to get that delicious, flavorful crust? That browning, that crispiness, that is the result of AGEs being formed. They are created when sugars react with proteins or fats at high temperatures. It's a natural part of cooking, the very process that creates so many of the flavors and textures we love. However, when you eat foods that are very high in these AGEs, they can enter your system and become a source of trouble. Imagine these AGEs as tiny, sticky little burrs. Once inside your body, they float around and can attach themselves to various tissues. And they have a particular affinity for the long-lived proteins found in your joint cartilage. When they stick to your cartilage, they trigger that local alarm system. They are a foreign, disruptive presence, and the body's response is to create inflammation to try and deal with them. Over time, a diet consistently high in AGEs can make the cartilage itself more brittle, less flexible, and more susceptible to damage. It's like those sticky burrs are not just causing a ruckus, but also making the very fabric of the garden's pathways weaker. You might be wondering, so where do these AGEs come from? They are most abundant in foods that are grilled, fried, broiled, or roasted at very high, dry heat. Think of a flame-grilled steak, crispy fried chicken, or even a heavily browned potato. The higher the heat and the longer the cooking time, the more of these compounds are formed. Processed foods, too, are often treated with high heat to extend their shelf life, making them another significant source. Things like processed cheeses, roasted nuts, and many packaged snacks can contain high levels of these sticky compounds. It's a common question that arises here. Does this mean I have to give up my favorite roasted vegetables or that occasional grilled fish? And the answer, which I hope is reassuring, is a gentle no. It's not about complete elimination. It's about awareness and balance. It's about understanding that cooking methods that use lower temperatures and more moisture, like poaching, steaming, stewing, or boiling, naturally produce far fewer AGEs. So perhaps, instead of grilling every night, you might choose to steam your fish one night, or make a hearty stew another. You are not giving something up, you are simply choosing a different, gentler path for your internal garden on that particular day. It's a subtle shift in perspective, from restriction to mindful choice. You begin to ask not just what am I eating, but also how was this food prepared? This simple question can be a powerful tool in your journey to quiet the hum in your joints. It's a form of kindness you can offer your body, a way to consciously reduce the number of those sticky little burrs you're asking it to deal with. Let's move on to another character in our kitchen story, sugar, and its close relatives, the refined carbohydrates. Think of things like white bread, pastries, sugary cereals, soda, and even white pasta and rice. When you eat these foods, your body digests them very, very quickly. It's like putting a fast-burning, flashy log on a fire. It creates a sudden, big burst of energy, and in response, your body releases a powerful hormone called insulin to manage this surge of sugar in your bloodstream. Insulin's job is to unlock your cells so they can take in this sugar for energy. This is a normal, healthy process. However, a very large, very rapid surge of sugar and the corresponding flood of insulin can act as a signal to that pro-inflammatory team of chefs in your internal kitchen. It's like a sudden, chaotic rush of orders coming in all at once, and it encourages them to ramp up production of their alarm-sounding messengers. Let's return to our garden. Imagine feeding your plants. A slow, steady watering allows the soil to absorb the moisture, nourishing the roots deeply. But a sudden, powerful blast from a fire hose might just wash away topsoil and stress the plants. A diet high in refined sugars and carbohydrates is a bit like that fire hose. It delivers a powerful rush that the body has to scramble to manage, and this scramble can create a ripple effect of low-grade inflammation. For your joints, which are already in a state of sensitivity, this extra ripple can be the difference between a good day and a day filled with more noticeable discomfort. It's not just about the obvious culprits like candy or soda. It's also about the sneaky, hidden sugars in sauces, salad dressings, and many processed foods that we might perceive as savory. The effect is cumulative. It's the sum of all these little bursts throughout the day that can keep that inflammatory hum going in the background. Perhaps you're thinking about that slice of toast you had for breakfast, or the biscuit you enjoyed with your afternoon tea. Please, let that thought go. Your body is incredibly resilient and wise. It's not about one meal, one slice of bread, or one sweet treat. The human body is designed to handle these things. It's about the overall pattern, the consistent rhythm of your choices over weeks and months. It's the long-term weather pattern, not a single rainy afternoon, that truly defines the health and peace of your garden. The comforting insight here is that you don't have to be perfect. It's about gently shifting the balance. Maybe it means choosing the whole grain toast more often than the white. Maybe it's swapping a sugary drink for a glass of water infused with fruit. These are not punishments. They are small, conscious acts of kindness, like choosing the gentle watering can over the fire hose for your garden. It's a practice in nurturing, not in deprivation. You are simply learning to provide a calmer, more stable source of energy for your body, which in turn helps to create a calmer, more stable environment for your joints. Now, let's talk about fats. The world of fats is often confusing, painted with broad strokes of good and bad. But the story, as always, is more nuanced and gentle than that. It's really a story of balance, specifically the balance between two types of fats, omega-6 and omega-3. Both of these are essential for your body. You cannot make them yourself. You must get them from your food. They are the primary raw materials for those two competing teams of chefs in your internal kitchen. The omega-6 fats, found in high amounts in many common vegetable oils like corn, soybean, safflower, and sunflower oil, as well as in many processed snacks and fast foods, are the primary building blocks for the pro-inflammatory messengers. Remember, you need these. They are part of your healing response. The omega-3 fats, on the other hand, found most richly in fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines, as well as in flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts, are the primary building blocks for the anti-inflammatory messengers, the All is Calm team. The problem in many modern diets is not that omega-6 fats are inherently bad, but that the balance is often skewed. We tend to consume a vast amount of omega-6 and a very small amount of omega-3s. Imagine your internal kitchen has a budget. If 90% of the budget is spent on ingredients for the alarm-sounding team, and only 10% is spent on ingredients for the calming team, which team do you think will be more productive? This imbalance is a well-established health fact. It is a known driver of the low-grade, chronic inflammation that underpins so many health conditions, including the sensitivity and discomfort of osteoarthritis. It's like constantly supplying your body with the materials to be on high alert. For some people, this imbalance feels like a constant, low-level static of aches and stiffness. For others, it might contribute to more pronounced flare-ups. The experience is unique to each person's body. The goal, then, is not to eliminate omega-6 fats, but to recalibrate the balance. It's about consciously reducing the intake of processed foods and oils high in omega-6, while at the same time, gently and intentionally increasing the foods that are rich in those calming omega-3s. It's like turning down the volume on the alarm, while turning up the volume on the soothing music. Finally, we must talk about something that intertwines with all of these factors, the role of excess body weight. This can be a sensitive topic, and it's important to approach it with immense kindness and absolutely no judgment. This is not about appearance or fitting into a certain size. This is purely about the physics and the biology of how your body functions, and how it relates to the health of your joints, particularly the weight-bearing ones like your knees, hips, and spine. There are two main ways that excess weight can impact osteoarthritis symptoms. The first is simple mechanics. For every extra pound of weight you carry, you place about 4 extra pounds of pressure on your knees with every step you take. Imagine putting on a backpack, and for every pound of books you put in it, the backpack somehow felt 4 pounds heavier. Over the course of a day, a week, a year, that extra mechanical stress adds up. It can accelerate the natural wear and tear on the cartilage, the precious cushion in your joints. It's like walking on the paths of your garden with heavy, weighted boots every single day. The path is simply going to wear down faster. This is a straightforward physical reality, and understanding it can be empowering, because it shows that even a small amount of weight loss can significantly reduce the mechanical load on your joints, offering them a substantial amount of relief. But there is a second, more subtle, and perhaps more powerful way that excess weight influences osteoarthritis, and it brings us right back to our central theme of inflammation. Body fat, or adipose tissue, is not just a passive storage depot for energy. We now understand it to be a highly active endocrine organ. This is a crucial piece of the puzzle. Your fat cells are like tiny factories that produce and release a variety of substances, including a group of those pro-inflammatory messengers called cytokines. Therefore, the more adipose tissue a person has, the more of these little inflammation-producing factories they have operating throughout their body, 24 hours a day. This creates a higher baseline level of systemic, low-grade inflammation. It's like a constant, low hum of static that is always present in the background. For your joints, which are already sensitive and trying to manage the local inflammation of osteoarthritis, this systemic hum adds an extra layer of burden. It makes the entire environment more inflammatory, making it easier for flare-ups to occur and harder for the calming messages to be heard. So, managing your weight is not just about reducing the mechanical stress on your joints, it is also about reducing the overall inflammatory load on your entire system. It's about quieting that background static, which allows your body's own calming mechanisms to work more effectively. For some people, making dietary changes that lead to a healthier weight is the single most impactful step they can take in managing their osteoarthritis symptoms. The journey is different for everyone, of course, and it should always be undertaken with patience, self-compassion, and support. It's not about a diet, it's about creating a lifestyle that nourishes and supports the quiet, peaceful functioning of your body's beautiful, intricate systems. It's about giving your garden the very best conditions to thrive, with gentle sunlight, nourishing rain, and healthy soil, free from unnecessary burdens. This understanding of the causes, the sticky ages, the rush of sugars, the imbalance of fats, and the dual impact of weight is the foundation upon which we can build a house of relief. It is the knowledge that empowers you to become the most tender, caring gardener for your own body. And so, with this quiet understanding of the why, we can now turn our focus toward the gentle, hopeful practice of how. If the causes are the challenging weather in your garden, the solutions are the tender acts of gardening you can perform every day to cultivate resilience, peace, and comfort. This is not about embarking on a rigid, joyless diet. Far from it. This is a journey of addition, of discovery, of inviting more nourishment and color onto your plate. It's a beautifully simple principle. When you gently and consistently add more of the things that make your body feel calm and supported, there is naturally less room for the things that cause it distress. You are not taking away, you are crowding out the noise with beautiful, soothing music. You are becoming the wise, attentive gardener who knows exactly which plants to nurture, how to enrich the soil, and how to provide the gentlest, most life-giving water. This is where your power lies, in the small, mindful choices you make in your own kitchen, day by day. Our first, and perhaps most joyful, act of gardening is to embrace the full spectrum of color. I want you to imagine your plate as an artist's canvas. The solution we begin with is to paint that canvas with as many vibrant, living colors as you can. These colors come from fruits and vegetables, and their vibrancy is not just beautiful to the eye, it is a sign of their profound healing power. This power comes from compounds called antioxidants. To understand what they do, we need to talk for a moment about something called oxidative stress. It's a natural process in the body, a bit like a tiny spark that flies off a fire. These sparks are unstable molecules called free radicals, and if left unchecked, they can bounce around inside your body, damaging your cells, including the precious cells of your cartilage. Think of it as a form of microscopic rusting. This process of oxidative stress is a well-established health fact. It is deeply intertwined with inflammation, each one feeding the other in a continuous cycle. It can make cartilage weaker and accelerate its breakdown. But here is the hopeful news. Antioxidants are the body's natural rust-proofers. They are like gentle gardeners who move through your system, calmly extinguishing these tiny sparks before they can cause any harm. So, how do you invite more of these protective antioxidants into your life? You simply eat the rainbow. Each color in a fruit or vegetable represents a different family of powerful antioxidants, each with its own unique talents. The deep red of a ripe tomato or a juicy watermelon comes from lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that protects your cells. The bright orange of carrots, sweet potatoes, and butternut squash is rich in beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A, essential for immune health. The deep, rich purple and blue of blackberries, blueberries, and even red cabbage come from anthocyanins, which are particularly potent at calming inflammation. And the vibrant green of spinach, kale, broccoli, and other leafy greens is a sign of lutein, zeaxanthin, and a host of other nourishing compounds. The goal is to make your meals a mosaic of these colors. Perhaps you can add a handful of spinach to your morning eggs, or a sprinkle of berries on your oatmeal. Maybe lunch can include a salad with deep red bell peppers and dark green lettuce. And dinner could feature steamed broccoli alongside a baked sweet potato. You might find that certain foods have a more noticeable effect on you than others. This is your body's unique wisdom speaking to you. Listen to it. This practice is not a chore. It is a delightful exploration of nature's pantry. It's about seeing food not just as fuel, but as a collection of beautiful, healing information that you are offering to your cells. Now, let's revisit our internal kitchen and the two teams of chefs. We learned that an imbalance of fats, with too many omega-6 and not enough omega-3s, keeps the alarm-sounding team oversupplied and overactive. The solution, then, is to consciously and gently recalibrate this balance. We need to invite the calming team to the forefront by providing them with their favorite ingredients, the omega-3 fatty acids. The most potent and readily usable forms of these calming fats are found in oily fish. Think of salmon, with its beautiful coral pink flesh, or the small but mighty sardine, the humble mackerel, or the delicate herring. These fish are rich in two specific types of omega-3s, known as EPA and DHA, which are incredibly effective at being converted into those all-is-calm messages. They directly interfere with the inflammatory process, helping to soothe the aches and stiffness in your joints. When preparing these beautiful fish, remember our lesson about ages. Choose gentle cooking methods. A piece of salmon, baked in parchment paper with a slice of lemon and a sprig of dill, is not only delicious but is also a profoundly anti-inflammatory meal. Poaching fish in a fragrant broth or gently steaming it preserves its delicate fats and doesn't create those harmful compounds. A question I often hear is, do I need to eat fish if I don't like it? And the answer is a comforting no. While fatty fish is the most direct source, there are many paths to finding these calming fats. The plant kingdom offers its own beautiful sources of omega-3s. Walnuts, with their brain-like shape, are a wonderful source. So are flax seeds and chia seeds. These provide an omega-3 fat called ALA. Your body has to work a little harder to convert ALA into the more powerful EPA and DHA, but it is still a wonderfully beneficial process. One of the kindest and simplest things you can do for your joints is to start your day by adding a tablespoon of ground flaxseed or chia seeds to your oatmeal, yogurt, or smoothie. When you grind flax seeds, you break open the tough outer shell, allowing your body to access the precious oil inside. Chia seeds have the magical ability to absorb liquid and form a gel, which is wonderfully soothing for your digestive system as well. And as you increase these sources of calming omega-3s, you can also be mindful of reducing the pro-inflammatory omega-6. This doesn't mean banishing them completely. It simply means being aware. It means choosing extra virgin olive oil for your salad dressings and for low-heat cooking, as it is rich in neutral, heart-healthy monounsaturated fats. It means reading labels on processed foods and choosing those made with healthier oils. It's a slow, gentle shift, like adjusting the sails on a boat to catch a more favorable wind. You are not fighting the ocean, you are learning to work with its currents, guiding your vessel toward calmer waters. Nature has also provided us with a spice rack full of potent, natural anti-inflammatory agents. Let's talk about two of the most celebrated and well-studied, the golden, earthy spice turmeric, and the fiery, fragrant root, ginger. For centuries, these have been cornerstones of traditional medicine, and modern science is now beginning to understand the profound wisdom behind their use. The brilliant yellow color of turmeric comes from its active compound, curcumin. Curcumin is a powerhouse. It works on multiple pathways in the body, directly blocking some of the enzymes and proteins that promote inflammation. Its effects are so notable that they are sometimes compared to those of conventional anti-inflammatory medications, but it works in a more gentle, holistic way. However, there's a little secret to unlocking the full potential of turmeric, and this is a wonderful, practical tip you can use every day. On its own, curcumin is not very well absorbed by the body. But, if you pair it with a tiny pinch of black pepper, its absorption can be increased by up to 2000%. The piperine in black pepper makes the curcumin more bioavailable, meaning your body can actually use it. Furthermore, curcumin is fat-soluble, so enjoying it with a source of healthy fat like a sprinkle of turmeric in an olive oil-based dressing, or in a coconut milk curry helps your body absorb it even more effectively. This is a beautiful example of food synergy, of how pairing certain foods together can amplify their healing gifts. Ginger, its close cousin, works in a similar way. It contains compounds called gingerols, which can inhibit the production of inflammatory messengers in the body. The gentle heat you feel from fresh ginger is a sign of its active, healing nature. There are so many simple ways to invite these spices into your life. You can start your day with a warm, soothing cup of fresh ginger tea, made by steeping a few thin slices of the root in hot water. You can grate fresh ginger and turmeric into stir-fries, soups, and stews. You can add a teaspoon of ground turmeric to the water when you're cooking rice, turning it a beautiful golden color and infusing it with anti-inflammatory properties. Many people ask if they need to take supplements for these spices. While high-quality supplements can certainly have a therapeutic role, especially in consultation with a healthcare provider, the philosophy we are exploring tonight is always food first. Incorporating these spices into your daily meals provides a gentle, consistent, and delicious way to support your body's efforts to find calm. It's like adding a special, secret ingredient to the soil of your garden that helps all the plants grow stronger and more resilient. Now, let's journey deeper into the body, to a place that you might not immediately connect with your joints, your gut. There is a growing understanding of something called the gut-joint axis, a constant line of communication between the health of your digestive system and the level of inflammation in your body. Your gut is home to trillions of microorganisms, a vast, bustling ecosystem known as your microbiome. A healthy, diverse microbiome is essential for a well-regulated immune system. And the single most important thing you can do to cultivate a healthy microbiome is to feed it well. And what is the preferred food of your beneficial gut bacteria? Fiber. The fiber found in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, and legumes is indigestible to you, but it is a gourmet feast for them. When these good bacteria ferment fiber, they produce compounds called short-chain fatty acids. These compounds are superstars. They help to strengthen the lining of your gut, and they enter your bloodstream and travel throughout your body, exerting powerful anti-inflammatory effects. So, when you eat a bowl of lentil soup, or a side of black beans, or an apple, you are not just feeding yourself, you are feeding the trillions of allies within you who are working to keep your entire system in a state of calm. This creates a beautiful, positive feedback loop. A high-fiber diet nourishes your gut, a healthy gut helps to lower systemic inflammation, and lower inflammation brings more comfort and ease to your joints. Finally, let's talk about the simplest, purest, and often most overlooked solution of all, water. Your cartilage, that smooth, slippery cushion at the ends of your bones, is approximately 80% water. It needs to be hydrated to stay plump, resilient, and shock-absorbent. When you are even slightly dehydrated, your body will pull water from less critical tissues, like cartilage, to support more vital functions. This can leave the cartilage less spongy, and it can also concentrate the synovial fluid that lubricates the joint, increasing friction and discomfort. Staying well hydrated is one of the easiest and most profound acts of kindness you can offer your joints. Think of it as providing that gentle, nourishing rain for your garden every single day. If you find plain water unappealing, you can infuse it with slices of cucumber, lemon, or a few crushed mint leaves. Herbal teas, like chamomile, peppermint, or ginger tea, are also wonderful ways to hydrate while providing additional soothing benefits. And remember that you can eat your water, too. Foods like cucumbers, celery, watermelon, and leafy greens have a very high water content and contribute to your overall hydration. Making a conscious effort to sip water throughout the day, rather than waiting until you feel thirsty, ensures that your joints are constantly bathed in the fluid they need to move with as much ease as possible. It's the foundational layer of care upon which all these other nutritional strategies are built. By embracing color, rebalancing fats, using spices wisely, nurturing your gut, and staying hydrated, you are not just managing symptoms. You are actively participating in your own well-being. You are becoming a true partner with your body, listening to its needs and providing it with the beautiful, healing tools of nature. As our quiet journey together this evening begins to draw to a close, let's just take a soft, easy breath. Inhale a sense of peace, and as you exhale, let go of any lingering complexities, any feeling that this is a list of rules to be followed. It is not. What we have shared tonight is simply a series of invitations. An invitation to see your plate as a canvas for color. An invitation to understand the gentle rhythm of your body's inner world. An invitation to become the most compassionate and tender gardener for your own beautiful, intricate garden. We have walked through the why, understanding how those sticky little burrs called ages can cause trouble, how a rush of sugar can sound an alarm, and how an imbalance of fats can keep that alarm ringing. And then, we moved into the hopeful, empowering space of the how. We learned to paint with the colors of the rainbow, knowing that each hue carries a gift of antioxidant protection. We learned to welcome the calming omega-3 fats, providing the ingredients for peace to our internal kitchen. We discovered the quiet power of spices and the profound importance of a happy, well-fed gut microbiome. And we remembered the simple, foundational grace of water, the life-giving rain for our joints. There will be days, of course, when your plate is not a perfect rainbow. There will be moments when you enjoy a food that is not on any approved list. And that is perfectly, wonderfully okay. This journey is one of deep compassion, not of rigid criticism. It is a practice, like learning to play a beautiful, soft melody on a piano. You do not expect to play it perfectly the first time. You simply sit down, day after day, and you practice with kindness. You learn which keys create a feeling of harmony, and which ones feel a little jarring. You are not striving for a flawless performance, but for a growing sense of connection and understanding with the instrument. Your body is this beautiful instrument. Listening to it, nourishing it, is your melody. Allow yourself the grace to be imperfect. Allow yourself to enjoy all the foods of life, armed now with a gentle awareness. The goal is not to live in a state of restriction, but to live in a state of greater harmony, where the choices that bring comfort and ease become the ones you naturally, joyfully gravitate toward. Now, as the world outside your window settles into its own deep quiet, allow that sense of peace to seep into your own body. Imagine your inner garden at twilight. The work of the day is done. The soil, now nourished with color and water and healthy fats, is rich and damp and full of life. The pathways of your joints feel a little smoother, a little more settled. The plants are no longer struggling against a harsh wind, but are resting peacefully in the calm, cool air. There is a deep sense of contentment in this garden. Your internal kitchen, once a flurry of activity with alarms and rushes, is now quiet. The chefs have cleaned their stations and gone home to rest. The only sound is the gentle, rhythmic hum of a well-cared-for system, ticking over peacefully. Let this feeling of quiet contentment begin to travel through you. Feel it in your feet, a sense of heavy, warm relaxation, as if they are sinking ever so slightly into soft, supportive earth. Let that feeling drift up into your legs, soothing the muscles around your knees, bringing a sense of release and ease to your hips. Allow your entire lower body to feel wonderfully heavy, wonderfully still. Now, let that wave of calm wash over your torso, quieting your breath, slowing your heartbeat to a steady, gentle rhythm. Feel your shoulders release their hold, dropping away from your ears. Let your arms become heavy by your sides, your hands resting, open and peaceful. A feeling of profound stillness moves into your neck, and finally, it softens all the tiny muscles in your face. Your jaw is unclenched, your forehead is smooth. There is nothing to do now. Nothing to figure out. You have given your body the beautiful gift of nourishment, the building blocks for repair and for peace. And now, your only task is to surrender to rest, and to allow your body to do its wise, wonderful work as you sleep. Trust in its innate ability to heal. Trust in the quiet magic that unfolds in the deep, silent hours of the night. Let the rhythm of your own slow breathing be a lullaby, in and out, so calm, so peaceful. And now, just rest.